Thanks to our great sponsors, Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond, Jerry Goebel and State Farm Insurance, Richmond, Express Roofing, we've got you covered, expressroofing.net, Cumberland Valley National Bank in Richmond and Berea, Luxury Pet Services in Richmond, Time Warner Cable, Equipment Sales and Rentals, Madison County Schools, Tatum Enterprises, and Real Life Community Church, myrealchurch.org.
Hey everyone, my name's Alex, and I want you to watch MadisonCountySchoolSports.com.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube. We want to be sure and thank our fine sponsors, Berea Online, First Gear, WKYT.com, and the Colonel Sports Card Shop. Thanks to our other great sponsor, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Chris Hornsby.
Welcome to Madison County School Sports Television.
MCS TV and Madison County School Sports.com present your look at local school sports. Oh, there you go. You got time. Go right. Goes up and under, nice
Welcome back to Madison County School Sports Television. I'm Samantha Burford, here with head coach of the Madison Central boys basketball team, Alan Feldhouse. I really don't need to introduce you, do I? You've been doing this a long time.
We've done it quite a few times.
How many years has this been, Coach?
23 here at Madison Central,
Yeah.
and I think it's my 30th altogether.
Wow.
Long time.
You're not that old, right?
Yeah, just had a birthday last week, yeah. 53, matter of fact.
Absolutely. Well, a late happy birthday.
Thank you.
And we want to start out by saying a big congratulations. You were named the basketball coach of the 11th region for boys.
Yeah, I've got that several times, but this year was probably the biggest surprise.
You weren't expecting that?
No. But I think a lot of it had to do with those young men I had the opportunity to coach this year. It was kind of a surprising year for us. Somebody would told me, especially after our first 3 games, that we would have won 20 games this year. I would said they were crazy, but this team probably improved more than any team that I've ever had, truthfully.
Yes, I have you down as a record of 20-12.
I think that's what we ended up.
You wouldn't have thought that, right, at the beginning?
No, definitely not.
But, okay, would a coach normally say that at the beginning of every season?
I think I've done this long enough where I'm pretty realistic about what we have. We had some surprises as the year went on. We had a freshman that really developed, and when we inserted him into the starting lineup,
now you're talking about Kozart for everybody watching.
Things kind of turned around. He just gave us something that we didn't have. We didn't have any inside presence, offensively or defensively, because we just didn't have any size. My upper classes, 6'1", that was about it.
Yeah, this was not your tallest team ever.
No. And to have a freshman that 6'5", 6'6", with a 7'4" wingspan that developed the way he did, it made us competitive with the best teams in the state.
You have to think watching him progress throughout the season has to really make you look forward even into next season, just watching him get better.
Well, it's the thing about, I think it shocked a lot of people who watched him play in middle school, just how far along he came. But I think a lot of it had to do, I had people tell me they go watch middle school and he didn't really play a whole lot. And I think a lot of it had to do with, we worked with him. We worked hard because we thought maybe if we were lucky by tournament time he would be able to help us. We had no idea he would start helping us at the beginning of the season, but there was a lot of hard work went into developing him to get him to the point where he could,
Would you say his best game was the Scott County game in the tournament?
No, I think the Madison Southern game. I think the finals of the district.
I'll give you that.
I think they gave Grant the the most valuable player of that game, but without a doubt it was Isaiah Kozar, because without him we would not have won that district tournament. I think he ended up with 14 rebounds, 9 blocked shots, and had 7 points. I mean, he was the difference in the definitely
game.
the difference in the game.
That was such a good game too.
It was very exciting.
That was a wonderful game. All right, well, let's talk about the season. I believe I remember quoting you as saying something as this team wasn't the most talented team that you ever had, but it was definitely a team that had the most heart, the want to.
Yeah, and I think they probably bought into our philosophy as well as any team that I've ever had in Madison Central. And they had to, because when you look at our first 3 games and the 5 starters we had, you really don't have a starter over 6'1", and we kept preaching we're going to have to be able to guard people. I mean, we're going to have to rely on our defense, and a lot of times you don't get teams to buy into that, but this team definitely did. When I go back and look at the end of the season, I preach this to them the entire year. Our opponents ended up shooting 37% from the field on the year, and that's in my 30 years of coaching. I went back and looked. That's like 2 percentage points better than any team I've ever had. I mean, you think about that.
That's a surprising number.
Your opponent shot 37% from the field, so that's what kept us in a lot of those games against those good teams. And then if we could find enough ways to score points, then we had a chance of beating them.
Right. That's incredible. So what would you say was the best part of this whole season, other than just the fine young men that you had?
Well, I think that's it. That's we were talking about before we get started here. The season went by so fast.
Okay.
And I think that's attributed to having great kids. I didn't have to worry about any problems off the floor, which a lot of years you do, and when you have to deal with those type problems, that's a distraction.
Recently, I mean,
it's a distraction. Even state tournament team, I mean, we had to deal with some things there with them, and it's not fun.
Right, and you try to keep all that amongst the team, not in the public eye.
I mean that means a lot of sleepless nights for the old coach. So
that's right.
So, and I didn't have that this year. I didn't have to worry about what my guys were doing off the floor and in the classroom. That's why I know I've said numerous times I think this is one of the most enjoyable years I've had because of that. And a lot of times as a coach, it's not how many wins or losses you have or how many tournament victories you have. To me, it's those guys that buy into your program, and you don't have to worry about any problems. And that's definitely what this team is all about. Last
year during our wrap-up show, you had mentioned that you could not wait for this freshman class. Of course, Cozart's part of that. Muntz is part of that. You still excited about them coming in as sophomores next year?
Well,
we're
gonna count on those two. That's for sure, because they got some size. The other freshmen, to be honest, it wasn't one of our better years because they didn't improve as much as a lot of our other teams have. I mean, usually we have a freshman team and we put in our system, we can really see a lot of improvement from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. Of course, a lot of that had to do, we took their best 2 players away from them, and they didn't get to play with them. So I'm sure that made a lot of difference. But even so, I mean, there was still enough talent there to see some improvement, and we just didn't see it. So that's what we've had little talks with them, and we're gonna have to see some improvement in the next few years.
Are you expecting them all to come back? Because some of them get a little tired if they don't get enough playing time.
You talking about the freshmen?
Well, let's say freshmen, sophomores, and juniors.
Well, I mean, my sophomores and juniors, I know all of those will be back.
Okay.
Some of the freshmen won't be allowed to come back, so we have to
Okay.
cut our numbers. We kept 14 on the freshman team, and then 2 others that didn't even play. So that's 16 freshmen. There's no way I can keep 16.
Keep all that,
So it'll probably be cut in half by the time we get started this summer.
So you knew last year what was coming in. Have you been recruiting? You looking at any of the middle school teams coming in? And
Coach Dunbar, it's funny that you say that. The last 2 days, he's visited all 3 middle schools.
Yeah.
And we've got summer tryouts for them. I think it's next Wednesday. So we'll get a look at them.
It never ends, does
No,
it?
it's pretty much. That's one thing about basketball. Our kids get off from the time we get beat in tournament play till after spring break. And then after spring break is over with, we get started again.
So they need to enjoy that spring break.
Yep, I need some time off myself too. So and that's just always the way we've done it in the 23 years that I've been at Madison Central. I think everybody needs a little break after a long season. We're start practicing in October and end up in March. It's a long season, so I think everybody needs a little time to catch your breath.
Exactly. Well, we're just going to put it out there. Everybody always assumes that when a coach has kids in school and their kids are graduating, you have your 3rd child graduating this year as a senior, they always assume that the coach is going to retire or, they're done. Let's move on.
Well,
you are saying you're not going to do that, correct?
No, I'm not ready to retire. I still enjoy what I'm doing. Matter of fact, that's what I got to get home after we get done here. My oldest, she just got a big girl job in Cincinnati, so we're going to be moving her tomorrow. And
Excellent.
of course, Addie is a senior in high school,
Right.
so we're going to have the little empty nest syndrome next year. But
Oh, yes.
we both still enjoy what we're doing, so we've got a few more years left in us.
Good. I'd say the cheerleaders are happy to hear that too. They're happy Miss Feldhouse will still be around.
She'll be there. She'll be there.
Absolutely. Okay, and while we're talking about your daughters, you had a bittersweet moment this year about having Ashton come to McBrayer Arena. A little bittersweet because she didn't really get to play.
No, it was horrible. To be honest, of course, she transferred to UT Martin, had to sit out last year because of the transfer, and then
That's
really
hard. That's hard.
that is sitting out
Yeah.
is hard. And then she worked really hard this past summer,
Yeah.
and she gained about 40 pounds. She weighed about
Muscle.
180 pounds of muscle. They played their first. She went through all preseason
Yeah.
practice and played their first exhibition game, and she led them in scoring the first exhibition game. And then the next day in practice, I'm coming home from practice, and my phone rings, and it's from Coach McMillan, who is her coach. And anytime you get a call from a college coach, that's probably not a good sign. So I
Yeah.
said, well, what the heck has happened? So he said, Alan, we think she's tore ACL. And I said, oh, gosh, that's the worst thing that can happen, of
I
course.
exactly know how you're feeling in that phone call.
And of course, it wasn't 20 minutes later, she's calling her mom, and Ashton's hysterical because she's pretty sure. She said, Dad, I heard it
Yeah.
pop. And sure enough, that's what it
That's
was. So,
Right knee, right?
Yep.
ACL.
And of course, she had the rehab.
And she's out the rest of the season.
Yep. So it's 2 years she didn't get to play. So
Right.
of course, she's got her medical red shirt already gone through, been approved by the NCAA. So she'll actually graduate next year and have 2 more years of eligibility left after that. So she'll come out of there with several degrees.
Well, so she'll keep going.
That's
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if everything goes
As long
well,
as she
her
wants
knee-
to keep playing
her
basketball.
knee, gets back to where it should
Right.
be. And she wants to play. She wants to play 3 more years.
Right.
But
And you know the
hopefully the knee.
feeling. You've had guys on your team that have hurt themselves.
Yeah, and it was just bad because she'd already had to sit out the previous year.
Exactly.
And knowing you
That
got to
made
sit
it
out
2
2
years
years,
in a row.
and that's been hard.
And it's a love. I mean, she's grown up with basketball. It's a love of her life.
She's getting through it, and he seems to be doing well. So we're hoping for the best.
Good. All right. So moving past all that, let's talk about. Well, I'll give you the option. Do you want to talk about some of the big games that you've had this season, or do you want to go right into district and then we can get into some of the big games?
Yeah, we can do either one. We had a lot of big games.
Well, let's go there then. Big games.
Probably.
Big finishing games.
Yeah, we had a lot of close ones. And without a doubt, I think it was just the way it worked out because we play a lot of the same teams every single year. We try to find the best to play. It was our toughest schedule we've ever played. And
You
it's
have
because
always told us that you play the best.
We have, and it's kind of disappointing when you go over and watch the state tournament. And 4 of those teams in the state tournament we've played throughout the course of the year, and we beat 3 of them.
Yeah.
We beat South Laurel the last week of the season on the road, and they ended up making
And
the
that's
semifinals.
not easy on the road.
No, they ended up making the semifinals of the state tournament. We beat Louisville Trinity at home in a very exciting game.
That one was
And of
exciting.
course,
They were all excited.
Yeah, and we beat
Those big
Dunbar,
games.
who's the state champs. We beat them
Region champs, state champs.
on the
Yeah,
road. So,
absolutely.
and that's just a few of the games that I can think of right off the top
Well,
of my
I
head.
took notes today. Double overtime against Lexington Catholic.
Yeah, over there, and that was in the last week of the season.
Yeah,
I
Lexington
think
Catholic,
Tariq
yeah.
Miller had 30-something points. He was on fire that game, and to beat them on the road, that doesn't happen that often either. So that was great.
Right. You mentioned Trinity. You held them to 34% shooting, which
That's our defense. Yep.
Dunbar, like you said, you held them to 35.6% shooting.
I mean, look at those teams
and
we're
only
holding
only 2 of 13 3-pointers that they were able to
Yeah,
get.
and they're, of course, I think the Hollingsworth kid, I think he was the best player in the state. And Darius Williams, who's another first-team All-Stater, we did a great job on both of those guys. And a lot of our guys play AAU with them in the summer, so
Yeah,
our
they
guys,
know each other.
Our guys were fired up for that.
Yeah, they know
game.
how
Yep.
each other play.
Yep.
I have that you beat Lafayette, came back to win that game. Do you remember that game?
No.
Did I get that wrong?
Yeah, that was those first 3 games of the season. We were not very good when we played them.
Okay. I missed that
And the
one.
Covenant Catholic game, the last game of the regular season, that was
Oh, yeah, right
our
here.
senior night. There was a great environment.
They were ranked first in the
They
state
were
at
number
the
1 in
time.
the state, and we ended up getting beat by 2 or 3 points. We had a chance to.
Yeah, 65-63. I
Yeah,
think
that was a
senior Seth Richardson took a last second
Yeah.
heave of a basket.
Yeah,
and-
desperation shot, and that was a heck of a game. So we definitely, even though we lost that, I think we went into district play with a good head of steam.
Good momentum.
Yep.
Had to be lots of composure going on in that game.
We had
'Cause, I mean, that game was fantastic.
It was. It was a
And
great
your guys
crowd.
never gave up.
No, we got behind. I think we were down 7 or 8 there at
Yes.
halftime, and came back. I think we actually went ahead there in the fourth
Right.
quarter. And it's just one of those games as far as who had the ball, last. Yep.
Well, and that is one thing that you could probably say about this team. Would you agree with me that this team just never gave up?
They
They played all 4 quarters.
They did. And when we would get behind, they knew it was their defense. We were going to make some stops
Yes.
to get us back
There
in
were
the game.
plenty of games you were behind at the half and even into fourth quarter.
Yeah. And that's sometimes we struggled on the offensive end to score. I mean, defense was pretty steady the entire year, but sometimes we'd have a few droughts where we struggled to score. If we could just hit a couple baskets back to back, that'd get us going.
Yes. All right, well, Coach, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get right into the district tournament and regional tournament.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
Thanks to our great sponsors, Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond, Jerry Goebel and State Farm Insurance, Richmond, Express Roofing, we've got you covered, expressroofing.net. Cumberland Valley National Bank in Richmond and Berea, Luxury Pet Services in Richmond, Time Warner Cable, Equipment Sales and Rentals, Madison County Schools, Tatum Enterprises, and Real Life Community Church, myrealchurch.org.
Hey everyone, my name's Alex, and I want you to watch MadisonCountySchoolSports.com.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube. We want to be sure and thank our fine sponsors, Berea Online, First Gear, WKYT.com, and the Colonel Sports Card Shop. Thanks to our other great sponsor, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Chris Hornsby.
Welcome back to Madison County School Sports Television. I'm Samantha Burford. We're here at Jack Burford Chevrolet, and I am, of course, with Coach Alan Feldhaus. He's the head coach of the Madison Central boys basketball team. He was also, we congratulated him earlier, but he was also the boys basketball coach of the year for the 11th region. So, again, it's well-deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you said you've gotten it many times, but it's always special. I mean, when you get voted on by...
Well, it's by your peers, and that
Mm-hmm.
does make it kind of special. But the other years that I won it, I thought I probably had a pretty good chance of winning it. But this year was a surprise. So, but I'll take it though.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That and the big state championship ring that you wear every day. That thing gets heavy, I know. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about the seniors. You've got some great seniors, and we will talk to them in a minute, but I want to hear your perspective before we bring them in on all of them.
Well, if somebody would have told me when those guys were freshmen that we would have been as successful, and they would have been as successful as seniors, I probably would have doubted them a little bit. I mean, truthfully, Dakota Begley and Grant Brockman, they really didn't even play that much.
Yeah, not starters last year.
As freshmen.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a tribute to those guys. I mean, they just worked their tails off to become the players that they are. Tariq, I can remember Tariq as a freshman. Tariq Miller always had a nice shot. When he was a freshman, he couldn't hit anything. I mean, we talked about it with Coach Fritz, who was our freshman coach at the time, said he'll hit shots in practice and get in the game. He just couldn't hit anything. And I think all that was attributed to a lack of strength. I mean, he just wasn't that strong at that time. John was already developed as a freshman. We could tell that he was going to be a nice player. Seth and John both, I think we brought them up as 8th graders who actually played with our freshman team, and we knew what we was going to get from Seth night in and night out. I mean, he gives you that energy, just the ultimate team player, and just worked his tail off. So, but to be as successful as they were as seniors, it's just a tribute to them and the type of kids that they are, and how hard they work to get stronger and just to become better basketball players.
Right, absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to talking to them later too, so it'll be exciting. All right, so let's talk about this year's district tournament. This was your 21st straight district tournament championship. You guys won 42-41 and a come from behind win over Southern.
Yeah, that was an exciting. I know for the fans, it was really exciting game.
It was a close one.
It wasn't the prettiest basketball game in the world because, and I told Coach Buttrey this after the game, that was the best defense that I'd ever seen one of his teams play. And of course, our defense was stellar too, both teams, and nobody could score. Nobody could score a field goal in the last quarter. But I told him, I said, if your guys would have played defense like that the entire year, I guarantee your all's record would have been a lot better than it was. And of course, I think they get up for playing us, and they always give us their best, and I always tell our kids that. But it was just a strange basketball game because I don't know. We scored maybe one field goal the entire fourth quarter. And I don't know if anybody scored a field goal in the last 4 minutes of the game. I mean, there were two teams who were really getting after it defensively, and it came down to who could hit their free throws. And I think we did hit our free, except for John. I think he did miss a couple free throws there late in the game, which could have given us a little breathing room. So I'll get on him a little bit about that.
He deserves it. He'll take it.
But I mean, that last possession where we were up by 1 and they had the basketball under 20 seconds to go, and we were not going to let them score. And I was really proud of our guys. We made them take a desperation shot there, 15, 17 feet against our freshman, and he had his hand right in his face. And the thing about it, the kid almost made the shot, even though we had a hand in his face. But our other guys were just staying with their man. They were not going to let their man score. So, but once again, I want to give Madison Southern I thought they played a great basketball game too.
At any time during those last few minutes of the game, did you ever think, "Oh, this may be our losing streak right here"?
Yeah, I mean, if you stay in as long as I have, it's going to happen probably eventually. I don't want it to happen,
right?
But I mean, last year the district tournament game was the same. It went into overtime, I think, and I think we kind of pulled away in overtime. But no, I mean, I believe in my kids. I believe that they can make those defensive stops. Even though we weren't scoring, I thought we could guard good enough to keep them from scoring too.
Yeah. Well, and I want to go back because we can't forget about the game over model, which was the first game of the district tournament. We want to make sure that we recognize Graham Brogman. He hit 7 3-pointers.
Yeah, I mean, of course, model usually when we play them, I think they jumped out ahead of us there in the first quarter. And, they were playing zone. Of course, we knew we were going to see some zone. And
there's two really good kids.
Chin's a nice player, and the little point guard's a really nice player, and they've been playing forever. But when you face a zone like that, you got to have somebody who can hit some perimeter shots. And in the second half, he really got hot. I know, and that seems like in that right deep corner, it seemed like he hit 4 in a row from that deep corner. So. I don't think he was the only. I think we hit like 11 or 12 threes that game, so we had some other people knocking down shots.
Yeah, you did.
Too.
It was exciting. Yeah, it was a big win. It was a 70-47 victory over that. So, but yeah, big district tournament win. So let's talk about region now. I know when I ask you this, you're going to say, of course I wish I would have had a different draw.
Well, not really.
No, I'm surprised.
Going into it, I mean, I thought Dunbar and Henry Clay were the two best teams.
Okay.
And when the draw came out, of course, we got Scott County. It was a really good team too, but both Dunbar and Henry Clay are on the other side of the bracket. And I thought we were very comparable to Scott County. They had good inside play, and of course we had Isaiah, I thought, who could hold his own inside. So I thought it was a pretty good draw. And of course they had a great record, and they were top 5 in the state as usual. And we just got off to a bad start. And I think we were down 28-14 at one time. We were just struggling to score. But like we normally do, we finally did make that run there in the second half, and they're late in the fourth quarter. We got it to 1 possession game. I think we got an offensive rebound and kicked it out to Grant, who got a pretty good look over there on the wing from the 3-point line, had a chance to tie it up. So it was just one of our
never stopped fighting.
No, and that fourth quarter was a great atmosphere. And, we really got after it. And I think if we could have got off to a little bit better start, it might have been a little bit different outcome.
Do you felt like, because that whole game was aggressive, do you feel like maybe...
Well, it's just the way both teams play, I think. I mean, both teams play that aggressive man-to-man defense. And I think our philosophies are very, very similar. They've got an unbelievable group of freshmen. I mean, we've got one, and Blake Muntz would play some. We had two that played some, one that played a lot, another one would spell our other freshmen. But they started 3 freshmen. That's unheard of in the 11th region. I'm talking about quality freshman, the Marino kid. Is going to be a great player. But I thought we did a really good. I thought Dakota Begley did a great job at him. The one that killed us was a kid that came off the bench. They had a kid that came off the bench and got 18. I can't remember his name either. Had 18 points, and I think he was the difference in the basketball game because we were not expecting that.
That's what I was getting ready to say. And that's probably why they put him in.
Well, I mean he was an upperclassman. I'm sure he's probably had some good games, but he definitely wasn't averaging 18 points a game. I think he was averaging 5 or 6 to tell you the truth.
He wasn't in any of your scouting videos.
Well, I mean, I knew who he was, but I didn't see him score like that before.
Exactly. He kind of stunned everybody,
I believe. He did.
So, all right. So let's talk about John Williams. He was named the boys' 11th region all-tournament team. He had 16 points and 10 rebounds in that game. So. Well,
it's very unusual that you have your point guard, and John's been our point guard for the last 2 years. You have a point guard that leads you in rebounding too. He was our leading rebounder on the season. Now, had Isaiah had a few more games to go, I think he would have eventually caught him because he was kind of catching up. But that's very, very unusual. And going into the season, as far as just pure athleticism, he was really our only pure athlete. Mm-hmm. And when John goes up to jump, you notice him in comparison to our other kids. Yeah. So we couldn't have won the games we had without him. And the Dunbar game, I mean, he was incredible that game. And John really liked to play those big games against the big teams. I think he really took that as a challenge. And it's just unusual that you have somebody that has to handle the ball most of the time. Plus, he's your leading rebounder too. So that tells you what type of athlete
he's all over the floor.
Yes.
And he's quick.
And he truly has that burning desire to win. He does not like to lose. That's exactly right.
Well,
I thought he had a great senior season.
You have some that don't like to lose, but then there's some that really it kills them to lose.
Yep, and
that's him.
He was one of those.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then let's talk about Tariq Miller. He was selected. I'm reading it because I want to make sure I get it accurate. The 11th region all-region tournament team. So
no, we really there's two different. What John made was just based on the 11th region tournament this year. What Tariq made is also voted on. That's not voted on by coaches there. This one is voted on by coaches, and it's for your play throughout the entire season. Right. So, and I think it was probably as good a season we had. I think the other coaches realized that we've got to put somebody from Madison Central on there. I think it could have very easily been John. I think it could very easily been Grant, and it could very easily been Tariq. So they had to pick one of them. They had to pick one. So Tariq's the one who ended up on that team.
Yeah. Well, and well deserved. Like you said, it could have been any of them, but yeah.
And
don't you wish it could have been all of them?
Really? Yeah, especially the type of kids that we have here. But I mean, Tariq had a great year too. He got to the point where he was not just a shooter. I mean, he could get to the rack and attack the rim, and of course, obviously, I mean, to play on this team, he was a good defender. I mean, he could be a lockdown defender. John was a lockdown defender. Dakota was definitely a lockdown defender. Seth could be a lockdown defender, and that's the main reason why we're so successful.
Yeah, I know you're going to miss this team for next year.
Yeah, because nothing against next year's team, but I mean. These guys, I could just tell, I've never had a group to buy into our philosophy, which is not always a pretty philosophy to play for, because, I mean, we demand our guys to work hard. And it's all about toughness and hard work, and they really bought into that. Right. And as a coach, that's when you can find a bunch that does that, good things are going to happen. Yes. We had a lot of good things to happen.
Do you find that sometimes they come in from middle school and they're the star at their individual middle school, and they think, well, I know more than this coach? Or
No, I don't think it's that.
No.
I think that's the biggest problem. They don't know very much. I'll be honest with you. It's like starting from scratch.
Starting over.
Yeah, I'm not trying to put anybody down here, but when our coaches go watch the middle schools play, they're watching these teams play 2-3 zone. And when they come to Madison Central, I hate to tell them they're not going to play 2-3 zone. You're going to be playing man to man. That's not right. But I'm not.
But that's your style.
That's what we do. So that's why Coach Dunbar will start bringing those guys in next week, and we'll start implementing our philosophy, because they're lost. I mean, they have no idea. And that's what I talked to Coach Hicks before our game in the regional tournament. I said, Coach, be honest with me. I said, you've got an unbelievable group of freshmen. Are those guys ready to play in your system when you get them? And he said, Alan, they are. He said, because I've got some of my ex-players who are coaching the middle schools there in Scott County. They play exactly the way we do.
That's the difference.
And that's the ideal situation.
Yeah.
I've never had that luxury here at Madison Central, which, and I'm not complaining about, because I'll make do with what we have. But it'd be nice if our freshmen, when they came in, they had an idea what man-to-man defense was all about. Well, they don't.
Right,
So,
and you weren't starting from scratch every single
yeah,
year.
and we are. We're starting from scratch every single year as far as teaching. I mean, he spends the entire summer just teaching man-to-man philosophies. And
Right.
you shouldn't have to do that,
Basics.
but that's what we have to do. And
Right.
we've been pretty successful regardless of that.
Exactly. All right, so coaching staff, everybody's sticking around, everybody staying the same?
Yeah, as far as I know, unless somebody's got a big surprise for me, I think I'll
You
have
hope
them.
not,
I hope not. I think I'll have them all back next year.
Yeah, and so you guys are planning your basketball banquet. That's not happened yet.
I think it's coming
Coming
in this
up.
month. That's totally my wife. I'll have to say she does all the work. I do absolutely nothing other than show up.
Coach, right? You
Other
don't
than
plan
show
all
up,
that?
she does all the planning for that and does a great job, because there's a lot of work, because our banquet, I think, is pretty
It is very
pretty
nice.
special, and so I'll have to give her all the credit
You're
for
not
that.
sitting in front of the computer putting those pictures all
No,
together on
no,
the
that's one thing about
PowerPoint.
having my daughter home, where she graduated in December, and
You got her working on it.
she's done the video, and the video is great. I mean, she actually came in the locker room and has a
Right.
lot of footage from the locker room, and the video is really going to be nice
Oh,
this
that's
year.
good. Well, we're good. We're glad she had some extra time
Yep,
on her hands.
yep.
Then
She said,
You're
"Dad, you're
probably
gonna have to
not.
pay. You're gonna have to pay me to do that." I said, "No, you're my daughter. You should have. She
You
wanted
should have to do that for free.
Yeah, that's exactly
Absolutely.
right.
Well, what did we miss? I'm out of notes. So anything that we need to look forward to for next year, this summer?
Well, of course, we're already working with next year's team, and I told them the same thing I probably told these guys last year. I think the reason why this year was such a big surprise, because we lost, I guess, our top 3 scorers off of last year's team, and nobody expected us to be very good,
Right.
other than these guys. And I told this bunch we've lost 5 out of our top 6 players. And these 5 seniors were 5 out of our top 6 players. I don't think anything should change. I still expect us. I think now we've had 6 straight years where we've won 20+ games, and I expect the same thing for next year. But it can't just be me. They've got to expect that
Right.
too. I think they've got to let the program speak for itself, let our system speak for itself, regardless who's playing. I think we've got a pretty good system in place that can make us successful.
Right.
So that's what we're preaching to them. So I'll have a little bit better idea after the summer as to whether that can be true or not.
Whether they all buy in.
Yep.
Seems like they did last year. You're doing something right.
They did. And like I said, I truly think it's one of the most enjoyable years I've ever had.
That's good to hear. Because you know what? A coach doing this for so long, it could get a little mundane or a little boring after so long. And
I mean, when the year starts to drag along, it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
And this year was definitely not like that. It went fast. I mean, very fast. And that's always, as a coach, that's always a
yeah,
a
you
good
just hope
sign.
it goes a little longer.
Yeah, I wish we could have played a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Next year.
It's playing.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Coach, on such a wonderful season and a great year. And looking forward to talking to these fine young men coming up.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick around here and listen to that too.
Well, we hope they'll say good things. I know they will.
No, they will. They will.
I know they will. All right, we'll be right back after this.
Thanks to our great sponsors, Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond, Jerry Goebel and State Farm Insurance, Richmond, Express Roofing, we've got you covered, expressroofing.net, Cumberland Valley National Bank in Richmond and Berea, Luxury Pet Services in Richmond, Time Warner Cable, Equipment Sales and Rentals, Madison County Schools, Tatum Enterprises, and Real Life Community Church, myrealchurch.org.
Hey everyone, my name's Alex, and I want you to watch MadisonCountySchoolSports.com.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter. Or like us on Facebook, MCS TV. And of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube. We want to be sure and thank our fine sponsors, Berea Online, First Gear, WKYT.com, and the Colonel Sports Card Shop. Thanks to our other great sponsor, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Chris Hornsby.
Taylor goes up and under. Nice glove.
Welcome back to Madison County School Sports Television. I'm Samantha Burford. We're here at Jack Burford Chevrolet, and I feel really short. But listen, I got all these good-looking guys behind me. These are the seniors of Madison Central basketball team, and they've had a very exciting season. And I'm going to let them start off by telling you, introducing themselves, and then what they're going to do after school. Because you guys only got, what, a month left? Yeah, that's about it. So it's going fast. So let's start with you.
My name is Dakota Begley, and after high school, I think I'm going to attend some college, hopefully to play basketball, but if not, major in accounting.
So no decision's been made yet
No,
where
ma'am.
you're going to go. Oh, you gotta get the ball rolling, right?
Little late.
I'm sure your family's ready
Yeah, they're nervous.
for you to announce.
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay.
My name is Tariq Miller. After high school, I plan to attend Berea College to play basketball.
Fantastic. All right. I'm turning around. I'm going to you. He's got the giggles.
I'm John Williamson. After high school, I'm going to some college, but I don't know.
You haven't decided yet either.
No.
What is it? You two got together and said, we're just going to wait it out.
Yeah, basically.
Wait.
I don't know where I'm gonna go. I
All
don't
right.
know.
You got to be making a decision. It's what, May 21st?
I know.
That's graduation day.
I know.
Oh, putting the pressure on you now. Your family's not doing that enough already. All right, Seth, your turn.
I'm Seth Richardson, and I plan to go to UK, hopefully room with Grant over here, and I'm going to go into pharmacy school, or try to. So.
My name is Grant Brockman, and I'm not going to be playing basketball next year. Instead, I'm going to be going to UK with him to major in engineering.
And you guys already, he's already got on his Wildcat
I'm
shirt,
ready.
so he's
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
Well, you got your blue on, so you're
Yeah.
ready. You're ready. You two in the same room,
Yeah, we can handle that.
you can handle it?
Yes.
All right, you'll be good. No, you don't think so? No, you think it'll be trouble? I
We'll
hear
stay
him
on
in my
top of
ear.
things.
Already a bookmark.
That's funny. Okay, so you guys have had such a fantastic season, and you guys were just sitting over there listening to Coach talk to us earlier.
Yes, ma'am.
What has been the most special event, game? I'm going to say maybe you hitting the 7 3-pointers, maybe?
That was a good. That was a good game, but I would have to say beating Lexington Catholic in double overtime.
Yeah, that's pretty
That was
special.
a good one. So
You'll never forget that, will you?
not at all. It was just a hard fought game. Super
Yeah.
exciting. So.
All right, good.
My favorite's probably the Trinity game. They were up there on the good, they've always been known as a really good team.
Right.
And the student section was really into it, so it was just a fun game.
You guys had some really good student sections
Yeah.
this year. I mean, there was times the referees had to push them back off the
Yeah,
floor.
That was the
Yeah.
total dad move section.
Yeah,
so that was a good one.
That's true.
That was a good one.
That's true. All right, I'm coming over here. Did he take your answer?
No.
No, okay.
One of my favorite games by beating Dunbar at their house.
Yeah.
That was a fun game.
Well, does it make you mad that you guys beat them and then they turn around and win the region and then the
Yes.
state?
It
Because
just-
you think I could have done that.
it
We
just
could have
shows-
been there.
Yeah.
Makes it feel kind of good, though, knowing that.
Two of the final four teams that we beat. So.
I know, isn't that
Yeah,
impressive?
so,
You have to be really excited about all that. All right.
I'd probably agree with Grant and say one of my favorite memories is beating Lexington Catholic in double overtime.
What is it about the double overtime? I mean,
Well, he had a pretty
Maybe
good-
because
he had a
you
pretty
did.
good
I'm
game,
coming
too,
over here
so-
because I feel like I'm blocking
Yeah.
you.
Braves is
Yeah,
tough.
you had a really good game. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
You were like on fire.
I don't know how, because it seems like I play better when I'm sick. So
Yeah,
You were sick that
He was
game.
throwing up in the locker room.
the.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
You
Most people probably do not know that.
What was wrong?
I don't know. I honestly don't know what I had. But,
Whatever it was, it worked.
yeah,
So
Yeah, you
you're like,
played good,
okay, now
so-
I need to be sick more often.
hopefully.
No,
It's
we
like
don't
the
want you
Jordan
sick.
game.
Hopefully.
I know. Did you do any dabbing or anything?
Nah, I leave the dad.
No arrows?
Just
No.
leave that. I leave all the celebrations.
We'll let
to
them
them.
do the arrows since they're going to UK. How about that? The bow and
Sounds
arrows.
good.
All right.
Mine's kind of a heartbreaker, but it's probably our final game of the season, that Scott County game, and the last 2 minutes was real crucial, and just how all 5 of the seniors stepped up and just tried to play their heart out the last
Yeah.
couple of minutes, knowing it was our last one.
Would you guys agree with me to say that you guys never gave up? You guys had some games that came right down to the last second shots. Whoever had the ball last. Uh-oh, you have another. You had a lot of fantastic moments. What are you going to say?
South Laurel.
That was in London. Yeah. That was, like, it's really hard to win on a road game like that.
Especially at South Laurel.
It's a tough place to play. Really tough.
Forgot about that.
They're loud. They're rowdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else? You got to give me more.
Wayne County.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Wayne County. Yeah, Wayne County. I love that game.
Yeah. So you guys have had some very special moments. So will you guys stay in touch with each other?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Be good friends forever, won't you?
Oh, yeah.
And I know a lot of you guys have been playing basketball together a long time. I mean, whether it's for Central or middle school.
I think I've played with John since 5th grade. So.
Really?
Yep.
Together for
Yeah.
6th grade.
Yeah. That's a good feeling. I mean, you guys are really close.
It's hard not to be when you're with them over 3/4 of the year, every day.
That's true. During school and then after school.
Yeah.
6 a.m. practices.
Everybody going to prom?
Yes.
Yes.
I know it's coming up Saturday. Everybody gonna behave, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Did I just see a video of you with the cowboy hat on? I think I saw that. we need to get a video of that and add that on there, right? No, I'm just teasing him, but it was him, wasn't it?
It was him.
I thought I saw that.
It was him.
I'm not meaning to embarrass you, but it is funny. You had a cowboy. He's just dancing. It's nothing bad, parents. It's nothing bad. He's just dancing. So we know you have it in you. You're gonna get out on the dance floor at prom like that?
I might twerk a little bit.
Minus the cowboy hat, or no? So you need a top hat with your tuxedo.
You need the hat.
I might bring the hat and fat out some of me Bart.
Will she let you borrow it?
She might, I don't know.
Maybe Coach can get it for you. Get it out of a
maybe.
room. That might be your best bet, right?
Killing me.
Yeah. What else do we need to talk about?
Cornrows?
No.
No?
I don't know, I'm
That doesn't-
scared.
What are y'all gonna do this summer? That's really what I want to know.
Hopefully hang out a lot.
Yeah, that's
Just
what
hang out.
a whole
before we
lot.
go.
Any of you just play basketball? I mean,
I
just
plan to
go
play
out and
some
hang out and
basketball.
play some
Oh,
basketball. Will it relieve stress? It won't be any type of pressure now. You can go play
Yeah.
for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. Congratulations, guys. You guys had a fantastic season. Like we mentioned, you guys had some last-second baskets at the buzzer. I was going to say buzzer beaters, but I mean, it was really fantastic to watch you guys. It was as a fan, it was a fun season to watch.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, well, congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
maybe I'll have to step in and prom and patch him down. Didn't mean to embarrass him. Now his parents are going to be like, I want to see that video.
I shall.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Thanks for watching. And if you want to see these guys, you can check them out Saturday night at prom. All right. Thanks for watching.
Your look at local school sports. Oh, there you go. You got time. Go right.
Taylor goes up and under. Nice glove.
Thanks to our great sponsors, Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond, Jerry Goebel and State Farm Insurance, Richmond, Express Roofing, we've got you covered, expressroofing.net, Cumberland Valley National Bank in Richmond and Berea, Luxury Pet Services in Richmond, Time Warner Cable, Equipment Sales and Rentals, Madison County Schools, Tatum Enterprises, and Real Life Community Church, myrealchurch.org.
Hey everyone, my name's Alex, and I want you to watch MadisonCountySchoolSports.com.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter. Or like us on Facebook, MCS TV. And of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube. We want to be sure and thank our fine sponsors, Berea Online, First Gear, WKYT.com, and the Colonel Sports Card Shop. Thanks to our other great sponsor, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Chris Hornsby.